Hi, and welcome to the Lipstick Lies and Liberation podcast. This is Sam and Amber. We're a sister duo, and this is our podcast where we talk all about women's issues, relationships, dating, the lies that society tells women, and how we are liberating ourselves from them. And then we also talk about fun female-based things. We like to start out with our little segment Lipstick Line Liberation, where we each share one. But first, today, our topic is creating a world of your own as a woman. So, how important it is to create a world of your own, and how do you do that? Why? And this is a magical topic. I'm very excited to dive in. But Amber, say hi.
Hi.
And this is Jack for those on YouTube.
He's so cute. It's
He just ate.
Sammy's elderly dog for anybody on
Yeah.
Spotify listening.
You mean YouTube watching?
No,
Oh,
for
no.
Spotify because they can't see it.
Yeah, you're right. You're
I'm
right.
the brains. I'm the brains.
Yeah.
But Jack is very elderly. He's one of those dogs that is just going to live forever. And we're so happy because he is the little best friend to Sam. So,
Yeah, he's sprightly. He's healthy and strong
yeah,
and
he's amazing. And he rocks a mean bow tie. So,
yeah, he does.
yes.
Okay, so my lipstick today is I was inspired by Amber and I got eyebrow tint and a lash lift and tint today.
Love
And
it.
it just looks really natural. I mean, you can't really tell.
No.
Doesn't,
Okay,
yeah.
it looks amazing because I was telling Sam I do like to get my eyebrows tinted, and usually the first day I get it done, they look very full, very dark. I come home, my kids are like, "Oh, you got your eyebrows done today, Mom," and I'm like, "Yeah, I did." And I try not to really do anything the first day, but then the next day when I wake up, they're like gorgeous and perfect. So
Yeah.
yours look really good the first day. So I'm
Well,
excited for
thank Well, she literally tried to dye my skin
you.
because
They
I
do
don't
because
have
it'll make it
that
look
much,
fuller.
well,
Yes.
I don't have that much hair.
Yes, they
And
do. They'll
she,
dye your skin near it and it makes your eyebrows look a little fuller with the
yeah,
tint.
yeah. So I don't know. It was very funny. She was like, when she did it at first, I was like, could we do it a little darker? She's like, yeah, I could try to like get your skin dyed too to fill in,
hmm
to
It
fill in
sounds
the
crazy, but
gap.
they do, and you can't really see it. But it gives the
Yeah.
illusion that they're fuller than they are.
Yeah, well, like, and so I'm Native American and Scottish, and so it's like my hair is very light, and then I barely grow hair. I don't really grow hair, like facial hair, body hair.
Mm.
Um, so it's like it doesn't really grow. She was like, "Oh, are you interested in waxing?" I was like, "What would we even wax?" Like, I
It's the
like never
upsell.
pluck eyebrow. No, it's like, yeah, my legs are so funny. It's like I have 10 hairs, and then I shave them every once in a while. I don't know. But so that's my lipstick today. Is that, I mean, you can't see it in this lighting because it's late, but the lift looks really good. And it just, yeah, I'm excited about it. My lie is, when you're out and there's like someone who's working in somewhere, like let's say a store, like customer service, and they're obviously having a bad day.
Mm.
Um, I have a poetry teacher, and she said that her aunt said to her one time, when like a service worker was rude to her, she was a teenager when her aunt said this, but she was like, "Oh no, honey, they love us. They're just having a bad day." And so I was at the store and this girl was like being really rude. I was gonna go check out and she was like, "Are you paying with card?" And I said no, and she was just gave me this like death stare. And I was like, because she was trying to like shorten the line or something and they were
Yeah.
closing soon or but I was paying with cash. And so I was like, "No, I have cash." And she was like, "You have cash." And I was like, "Yeah."
Should have been like, no, I have coins.
Yeah.
I don't have cash. I have coins.
Yeah, but like I don't know, I've worked so many service jobs and it
Yeah.
sucks and it's like you're not probably not getting paid enough. It's just yeah, they just suck. So
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh, she loves me. She's just having a bad day." And so
Mhm.
that the lie of like taking things personally when it's not personal at all.
No.
And yeah, it's not personal. And then like knowing like it's nothing against you. Like, "Oh, they love me. They're just having a bad day." And I just love that mindset. And I feel like it's such a lie to like allow other people's frustration to impact you and kind of create a negative ripple effect for no reason when it's like it's no big deal. Like it's just
Mhm.
a little it was a little sass, a little death stare, like it's funny and like just yeah, just not letting that energy permeate. Yeah, so I love that. And then my liberation is something that I did today. Went for a walk with Jack, and I feel like I've been having anxiety and like thoughts come up, which is like kind of normal. Like I have anxiety, I think, kind of regularly. Um, but I was having a thought today about like how I just want to let everything be way easier, including like healing and
Mhm.
mental healing and doing things regarding healing and also just not being so obsessed with healing. Like I'm kind of tired of it. Like I just want to have fun and create and like invite other people to feel safe to create and just have a environment really that feels safe and loving and collaborative with people and rather than like let's heal everything about you and all of your darkest things. I'm just like I don't even care anymore. Like let's just have fun. But so in incorporating that with myself today, I was on a walk with Jack and I was like, you know what? I'm going to do something real quick. And I took my little inner child because the other day I was having anxiety and I was like, I just want to know like I'm safe. And that thought just kept popping up. And I was like, well, that's my inner child saying that to me, like the adult me. That's my inner child saying that to the adult me. So today when I was on a walk with Jack, I was like, okay, I'm going to let it be easy. And I just like quickly visualized a book of fear and my inner child is like living in that story. And so I just plopped her out of the book of fear and I put her in my little pocket in my shirt and was like, I've got you, you're safe. And then I shut the book and then I opened a new book of possibility and love and safety and I placed her in there. And I was like, I've got you and you live here now. This is your
Aw,
story, this is your life, and I'm watching over you. And so I was like, that's it. We're done with that. So
that.
yeah, and it felt really powerful and it was like literally 10 seconds and I was like in public, like just
Oh,
walking my dog while doing it. And I just love that idea of letting things be really simple. And I thought that exercise, which just like spontaneously came to me, um, I thought that was fun and yeah, I love that because I mean, I have all these trainings and certifications of like deep mental processes and like spiritual um rituals and like things that are very like things that are really effective and beautiful. And also it's like it doesn't even have to be that. It can just be a quick, simple thing that feels almost like fun.
yeah.
Um, so yeah, that was my liberation and I loved it. And then I felt great after.
Yeah, and I love that too, because I think especially like, you know, I don't know. I feel like females sometimes can go through so many experiences that like are traumatic or do stick with you. And there's just so many things that we have to navigate in feeling safe in the world, with men, outside of men, all of that. And I think it's like important to do that deep work to heal. But at
Hmm.
some point, like you have to let that story go. Like you
Yeah.
have to stop replaying it. You have to stop talking to yourself about it. Like you have to heal it and then like let it go and like, move forward with a new story. And sometimes it can be as simple as just saying like, you know what? You did the work. You proved to yourself that you can be safe. Like you could take care of yourself. Here's my little person and like we're good.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
everything's great. And now that's all behind us and now a beautiful life is ahead of us.
Yeah. And I don't want to say like victim mindset, but just like I mean it is, but it's more so like yeah, because I've a million stories and things that were not good that were evidence of like fear and replaying those stories and anticipating those things happening, but rather than being in a space of like stories of possibility and beautiful things happening and that those things can be in the past. And
Yeah.
so, yeah, like having it be a literal book that I shut and
Yeah.
left alone and took myself out of. It felt very powerful and really um fun and like yeah. But
I
anyways,
agree.
what are your lipstick lie and liberation.
So I actually think I'm going to change my lie and my liberation based off of what you just said
Hmm.
and share a very small snippet of an experience I had, a couple weeks ago. But, I am dating kind of for the first time in my whole adult life because I basically just went from like one serious relationship to another when I was young and then got married young and so on and so forth.
Mhm.
Um, and
Because we
recently
were
I had gone
Amish.
on huh?
I said it's because we were Amish.
Yeah, no, I was just a serial monogamous. I guess like I gave myself like my friends would be like, you're just always in a relationship. I was like, I know.
We were not Amish.
Um, but I think recently I had a liberating experience where like I was dating someone new. We had gone out for all these like online dating people. We'd gone out on 6 dates, which is like you're basically in a full-blown relationship at this point, right? Like 6 dates is a lot. Like not for me. I
In
would
what
never.
time span, though?
So like 2 months, six
Okay.
dates, talking all the time, all this stuff. Long story short, thought I,
Both single parents. So 6 days,
yes, yeah.
single
So
parent.
like
Yeah.
thought I knew this guy, but like I wasn't ready to be in a relationship. I didn't want him to be my boyfriend, but felt comfortable with him.
Mhm.
And I got myself into a situation where like I said no to him one time about something, and he just kept asking and he kept asking, and I kept having to say no. And so like a lie that I have told myself is that I can't like stand up for myself fully, or like sometimes I have boundaries but I'll put them aside because I like will make excuses for whoever I'm with, like, oh well, they didn't mean it like this or whatever. And I really like this guy and he made me laugh and I had so much fun with him every time I was with him. And after that experience I told him, I was like, I'm not going to see you again. And he
Mhm.
was really upset, but I told him it was very liberating. I said, look, like, yeah, I have so much fun with you, you're great, but I told you no about something once. And
Mhm.
you should have just said, okay, and that should have been it. I said, I don't expect you to ask me again. I expect you to respect me when I say something. And he
Mhm.
didn't. And like, and he was so upset and he was like, oh my gosh, you're right. And he apologized and all the things and said all the right things, probably put it in Chat GPT and told me all the things that he was supposed to say to make him seem like he's like very mature. But I'm at a point in my life where I was like, I'm not putting myself in that situation again. And even though I have fun with him and he's cute and he's cool and we have a great time and I laugh, and I haven't laughed in years, I feel like. And this guy made me laugh every time I was with him. But I was just like, no, I'm not going to see you again. And I gave him the courtesy of telling him this is why. I was like, hopefully you can carry that with you when you date the next woman. But
Mhm.
like, I'm not repeating myself. So it was like a line of liberation, like put together, and it felt really good to be able to do that. Yay! And my
Yeah.
lipstick for the week was I went to an event at a country club and it was honoring a woman, which was super fun and exciting. It was honoring her like 40-year career. But for that event, like I got super dressed up and did my hair and my makeup. And it was a really cute spot. The views were gorgeous at the country club. The food was amazing. There was a sushi boat. I like sushi. So that was definitely my lipstick for the week. It was nice to get out and get like dressed up and be around other people that were like-minded.
Yeah. Oh, was that one of your dates?
The event I went to?
Yeah.
No, it was not a date.
Oh, I didn't know about it.
Well, I'm very mysterious. You don't know everything about me.
I know most things about
You
you.
know almost everything about me. I spill my guts to Sam. She's my person.
We're very lucky.
Yes, yes, we are. All
Hmm.
right, so let's dive into our topic this week.
Yeah. Well, I love your line liberation because yeah, there's no there it's if someone has shown you that they've disrespected you, they don't get to show you again.
Yes, and you are right. There is no shortage of men and no
No.
shortage of good men.
No.
And in my 40s, I'm not in a position where if I tell somebody no, like that I'm willing to repeat myself anymore.
Hmm.
So, bye.
I love it. Bye. Wish you the best.
Bye.
Bye. So okay. So building a world of your own is our topic today, and it's inspired by a poem by Mary Oliver. So I'm going to read the poem and then we're going to dive in because it kind of might seem a little like abstract at the moment. But okay. So the poem is called The World I Live In, and we're going to start it. I have refused to live, locked in the orderly house of reasons and proofs, The world I live in and believe in is wider than that. And anyway, what's wrong with maybe? You wouldn't believe what once or twice I have seen. I'll just tell you this. Only if there are angels in your head will you ever possibly see one. So, yeah, I feel like maybe you should look it up, our listeners, and read it for yourself because maybe then it will help lock it in. Sometimes it's nice to like read things multiple times, but only if there are angels in your head will you ever possibly see one. And I feel like my cat is rough.
I saw it moving a little bit.
She's going crazy rubbing her head on the computer right now. Oh my God. She's very excited about angels. But yeah, like if you don't believe, you won't see. And it's about you choosing what you believe and you choosing what you want to see and like what we think we will create. And so there's a lot of science behind this. So much brain science, neuroscience. If you want to get into that, you can look up Dr. Joe Dispenza, Dr. Bruce Lipton. Um, I'm trying to hold my computer. It goes crazy. And then there's also the reticular activating the system. There's a million podcasts on like all the science behind it. And then there's actually something called biomorphic resonance, which it basically captures the electromagnetic field around something before it is formed. So, for example, like a pregnant woman, when it's like very small, basically there will be an energetic imprint of electricity that has mapped out the entire baby fully grown in the womb. So it's like, and this happens with plants too. There will be a electromagnetic like field basically, or like it's taking up electromagnetic space because a plant won't grow where there's no space. So it sends out an electrical field as a fully grown plant or as a growing plant and making sure that it can create, it can be born in that space.
Wow.
Yeah, so if there's no room for it to grow, or if it's not optimal conditions, and also they communicate through the mycelial network, if there's enough nutrients or sunlight, etc., if it's advantageous for the whole collective, if it's not, they'll kill off the saplings. If it is, they'll let them grow. But like you can measure a baby plant or like a seed that's about to sprout, and you can measure the electromagnetic field of the space it'll occupy and basically take a photograph of the fully grown plant before it's grown.
Okay.
So it's called biomorphic resonance, and I think it's like Dr. Steve Levin or Dr. Levin, if you want to look it up. And I might have said something incorrect. I don't know. I'm not an expert in it, but that is the gist of it. So you can look it up. But basically, the image we hold is what we create. So that's why everyone talks about visualization. But if you haven't created a world of your own and you are just existing in the world that you have observed externally, that is a missed opportunity.
Mhm.
And I haven't talked to Amber about this at all, and I'm kind of like taking the lead. So I'd love to, we can kind of work through it with Amber, and
Mhm.
then you can do it at home with your own like understanding or perception or beliefs. And we can start to kind of go through how you can build a world of your own.
Yeah.
So, what do you think so far, Amber?
No, I agree. I think like, getting divorced, like it's the first time in my life that I've like created a world that like I solely want. And like
Mhm.
obviously there's a lot of factors that go into it, like things that would make my kids happy and stuff like that. But like it's the first time that like things that come into my house are because I want them there. It's not
Mhm.
because somebody else did. So like the flowers I pick out or like the throw blanket or the pillow or like I just have like more plants in the house now or like the music that I put on that fills up my house like Olivia Dean in the background while I'm cooking and cleaning. Like there was never music like that before, it was always somebody else's music. So just little things like that I feel like you can really create the world that you want to around yourself and you can like romanticize it in ways that don't have to be just revolving around like a love and like a relationship. It can just be a love for life and like all the things around you.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Exactly. Beautiful.
I get it.
Um, yeah, you're killing. Um, you're loving it. Well, yeah, so basically, if you're not creating a world of your own, which I mean, everything goes in cycles and we're not always going to be 100% conscious and like
Yeah.
aware all the time. We're going to slip into life might happen and we get distracted and we're not in our center. But basically not creating a world of your own is like existing in the chaos of all the social media pressures of like there's this horrible thing going on, there's this news you didn't know about, the president did this horrible thing today, and just it's basically like taking your attention and creating all of this chaos and you are just responding and kind of like a pinball in your
Mhm.
own life. And this happens a lot with like dating. In my dating course, I have a training that all my clients like would refer to a lot and they really loved of like don't be the pinball in your own life where
Mhm.
like this man said this thing and now I'm upset or like this man did this thing and he didn't reach out today or he like said he was going to do something and then he didn't and now I'm like having a bad day or now I'm upset. It's like you can't be the pinball. Like you need to set yourself up for success and love and beauty and overflow of abundance. And then that person is just extra. And so
Mhm.
having the foundation of like, I have created this world that is my own. And whatever comes into it is because it's part of my creation.
Yeah.
And that's what I say all the time about my amazing fiance, who I love so much, is like, I wasn't available for an experience that was different from this and
Mhm.
the experience that I have with him. And yes, he's incredible and amazing, but also like, and I feel so lucky that we met and that we're together. But I was not available for anything else. Nothing else was going to enter the world that I
Mhm.
created. And so creating a world of your own is taking yourself and putting yourself in the driver's seat and making yourself the artist of your own life.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so and especially in this world, like the Second Sex book that we mentioned before, where it's like women are kind of seen as the second sex. Like everything is assumed like a man first, or like
Which is wild because women literally made that man. Like
yeah.
women, like literally, like every man came from a woman, and it's like we're still the second sex. Like you guys wouldn't even exist if it wasn't for us. And like I know that we need them too, partially or whatever, but like we're doing all of the work, right? Our bodies, like creating this baby, creating these humans. So
Mhm.
it's wild.
Well, the earth is I love that quote that circles from time to time where it's like the earth is just mothers and their children.
Hmm. And
That's
it is. It is.
that's
I literally saw
it.
something the other day that said something like, it was just like a bullshit reel that said if women left the workforce, nobody would notice, but if men left, the whole thing would collapse. And like literally, like, and this guy was dead serious. But it was like, wait, but like you wouldn't even exist if it wasn't for women. Like none of
Yeah.
you. Like, and they were basically saying like women should just be at home having babies and stuff. And it's like, but like we're making you guys. Like,
Yeah.
it's just wild.
If it wasn't for women, men wouldn't do anything that they do because they only make money for women. They only like do anything they do. They wouldn't even bathe or
Yeah.
eat properly or like I don't yeah.
And I am a firm believer because, you know, like having children, like childbirth and like growing a child is not easy and it takes a toll on your body and there's pain and there's a lot that goes into it. I really think if men had been the ones having the babies, one man would have a baby. He would tell all of his friends how horrible it was. None of them would ever have a baby again and he would never have a second one. And then that would have been it. So,
That would have been it.
I mean, that would have been the end of the story. It would have been pretty quick.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I agree. I'm with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the idea of the second sex, like we are thought of second in this world, like in capitalism and in patriarchy, it's dependent on our free labor and our like over functioning. So we are not thought of, we're not thought of with medical studies. We're not thought of when they're designing seat belts or cars or safety features.
Or
We are
temperatures in office buildings.
temperatures in office buildings. We're not
That's
thought
another
of
one.
to hormone studies or
Yes.
nervous system studies. It wasn't until 2005, 2001 or 2005 that they began studying a woman's nervous system, and they found out that men regulate through dopamine, which is like achievement, goal oriented, and women regulate through oxytocin. And dopamine actually depletes oxytocin. So the more that you like push through and try to achieve, the more you're like gonna feel not okay. And the more that you relax into pleasure and connection, and you take a slow bath, you eat slowly, you make yourself tea, you give yourself a massage, like it doesn't have to be dependent on others. Obviously, spending time cuddling, hand holding, like braiding each other's hair, anything you can do, hugging, like with a friend or loved ones, is super beneficial. But if you are alone, you can still trigger it. And then pets really help. Being in nature really helps. Slow breathing, music really helps. So anything that makes you feel like connection and love is really positive for oxytocin. But yeah, social media and then constant like achievement and lists and goals, like that is not the most regulating for our nervous system. So they didn't even start studying that till very recently.
Mhm.
But so this whole world currently that we live in was set up with us not in mind,
Yeah.
and how what's beneficial or what's healthy for us not in mind. So if you just exist in this world as created and don't create a world of your own, I think you're just missing a big opportunity, and you might be having a really bad time right now in life. So yeah, creating a world of your own, like I want to just take it down to the very beginning. Should we do a little exercise or?
Sure.
Okay, this is new for us.
Okay.
All right. So obviously don't do this if you're driving or walking, or if you need to be awake, you can save it for later, or you can just listen and passively kind of think about it. But yeah, just be in a comfy space. We're not going to do anything intense. Again, we're letting it be easy, but you can just go ahead, and if you feel comfortable or are able, you can gently close your eyes. Make sure you're in a comfortable spot. Sitting or laying down would be ideal. And I'd love to invite you to just take an easy breath and take another easy breath. And I'd love to invite you to just think about your the surrounding 3 feet around you. And I would love to invite you to imagine the border of the 3 feet surrounding you as having a little like castle wall. And it's an energetic wall. It's not real, but just imagine a castle wall on this like 3 feet border surrounding you. Maybe you have a moat around yours, maybe there's flags, but just imagine a beautiful castle wall. Maybe it's pink, maybe it's made of sunflowers. And inside the castle wall, we're going to build a world of our own, completely of our own. So, in the world of your own, you are queen. And you get to decide, most importantly, we're going to start with the foundation. So every queen has to decide how she's going to treat herself. So in the world that is your own, how do you treat yourself? How do you talk to yourself? Do you call yourself endearing names? Do you talk to yourself with a gentle, loving voice? Do you allow yourself to make mistakes or to rest? Do you allow yourself to take baths anytime you want, or to give yourself 5 minutes, even if there's so much to do, and you tell those around you, I just need 5 minutes and I'll be right there? Do you schedule things in advance that support you, like going to a workout class or getting a massage or going for a walk or buying a tea you really like and making the time to make it before bed every night? So, how do you treat yourself, most importantly, in this world of your own, in your beautiful castle, in your safe space? Now, how do you allow others to treat you? Imagine other energies, other people coming into your castle. How are they treating you in this world of your own? Do they get to disrespect you a few times and then you kick them out? Or is it one time and then they're gone? Do they bring you flowers? Do they give you compliments? Do you share back and forth? Is it a reciprocal relationship or do you continue to overgive in your world? How do you dress in the world of your own? Now, this is your castle, your safe space. Do you wear dresses? Do you wear lots of color? Do you wear black and white and let yourself be really simple? Are you elegant? Are you casual? Do you wear really high heels because you can? Do you let yourself dress comfy because you don't care about being judged by others? Or do you let yourself get dolled up in the way you never have before? So, how do you want to allow yourself to dress? And then, how do you interact with the world when you're walking around and you see someone else in their world and their world is colliding with yours?
Hmm.
How do you interact with that? If they're having a bad day, if their world is full of chaos and mean things and sad things, do you let that color your world and now your castle is tainted and there's an outbreak? Or do you allow it to remain a safe space that holds you where fun and love and overflow and abundance is the main thing that you experience in your world? Even if it's just very small things like allowing yourself to take a breath, allowing yourself to wear bright pink anytime you want, waking up and putting on a cheetah print robe and getting your mail that way and not caring. Yeah. So interacting with other people's worlds, how do you want your world to stay intact and feel? How do you feel about your body in your own world? Do you let the opinions of tabloids and celebrities influence how you feel about your own body in your own world? Do you feel like it needs change or do you love yourself because you are you? And then what stories do you allow into your own world? Stories about yourself, stories about your future, stories about your world. Are there any that you want to change? Are there any that you want to write? What is the lore of your world, your history, how you were founded or came to be, how this great being in the middle of this castle, how did she become the amazing, beautiful person she is? What is her lore? Can you write it in a magical way? Can you tell the grand story of your existence, which is a miracle, in your safe, beautiful space that you have created? And then what beliefs in your world do you want to shift? Beliefs about what's possible for you, about how much money you can create, about your health, about your family, about love. What beliefs are allowed in your world? When you come up to someone else's world and you interact, what beliefs of theirs get to enter your world? What makes it through the castle walls and why? What makes you a good person in your world? Or the idea of good, does that even exist? Is that something you want to keep at the gate? Because it's not up for debate. No one gets to tell you if you're good or worthy. You know that you are. How is your connection to the divine in your world, to nature? Are you rooted into the earth and do you let the sun shine on you, or are you feeling disconnected? What rituals do you need to install into your world to feel the way you want to feel? What does nature mean to you in your world? What do other people's words mean to you in your world? Almost like they're speaking it and it's a vibration coming at you and you can see it hovering, this invisible vibrating thing coming towards you. Does it seep in or does it just bounce back at them like an invisible force field? What words do you let permeate that force field? And what do you not let permeate it? So allow yourself to soak in the clarity of your world. Let yourself feel the power you have when you do that. And let yourself feel the gratitude and the beauty that exists in your being, just as you are, in this space you occupy, in this safe, loving, beautiful space full of possibilities and creation. And then when you feel ready, you can look at your castle walls and be grateful for them. You can feel the invisible force field and know that it's there. Allow yourself to slowly come back to the room, come back to yourself. Take a relaxing breath. And then you can open your eyes. And maybe now you want to go shopping and you're like, I fucking hate the decor in my world. I need, yeah, that's what I've been feeling. I'm like, I want more fun, like wardrobe items. I want more fun house decor.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are your thoughts, Amber?
Mm, I kind of pictured myself as like the Queen of Hearts, but like a nice version of that queen. Like, you know how she's like very like off with her heads and stuff? I'm like her, like powerful and stuff, and I want to have like big heels on, and I want everything to be like pink and red in my world, and like beautiful hydrangeas and like peach roses, but be like a very soft and sweet and kind and like just queen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I think it is important, like building your world, but like one of the things you said, just really feeling good in that so that when other people come in with their opinions or try to push those boundaries, like you're like, this is my world, this is beautiful, these are the things I expect, and anything that doesn't meet that criteria isn't allowed in.
Yeah. Well, I think if you haven't taken the time to build your own world, or if you didn't even know that was an option,
Mhm.
like if you've never even considered it because you're just someone who's like reacting to life, which is fine, that's normal, that happens. Like, and just that's how I felt. I spent much of my time because I just always wanted to be kind and compassionate and like give someone my energy and like but I didn't have a world of my own. So anyone's world, anyone that came to me, I was just immediately sucked into their world.
Yes, I've been very much like that. I agree.
Yeah, and it would feel scary and overwhelming or like weird and I would fight and like do anything I needed to do to try to heal their world and turn it into what I wanted mine to be.
And that's the thing. When you have your own world and you're in control of it,
Mhm.
if you bring somebody in terms of a relationship, you don't have that pressure to make it work because like I've always had that pressure of like I've just melted my whole life into those relationships and like
Yeah.
given up my world to like integrate with them. So then it's like if it doesn't work out or if it falls apart, you're losing everything. But
Ev-
like now it's different. I have my own world. I'm very happy. If somebody comes in and I don't like it, if they leave, I still have that beautiful foundation. Like you were saying, those beautiful walls, that beautiful castle, you know?
Mhm.
So it really does make a difference. And it makes you a lot more as a woman, like stable in your
Yeah.
life and what you've created because like you're in control of it. If you
Yeah.
bring something into it and it doesn't work, you can bring it out and it's still beautiful.
Hmm.
And it
Yeah.
really like it gives women like a steady ground to stand on.
I think it's important, especially with there's so many fearful stories, there's so many things that happen that are out of our control. And so if you choose, like I live in a friendly, kind, loving world, and even if something happens and I interact with it, I can choose to let it in or not. And so having that like mental visualization of like things need my permission to come in.
Mhm.
I feel like really that really grounds it as like, oh, I'm allowing this in because there is this barrier. It does exist and I'm choosing. So it puts you in a state of power because you can be like, oh, I can kick it out rather than, no, this is just the world I live in and it's really chaotic and scary and it feels like blah, blah, and I have to like do all these things and make all this effort to like fix everything and heal everything and like get this person to change and get the world to change immediately and like I have to and it feels very it's you can't live like that. Like,
No, I mean, I had a relationship recently where like I told my partner several times, like, our life just feels like chaos. Like I don't feel any stability. It's and like this person was like, I'm coming in, I'm fixing everything. I'm, like I'm the
mhm,
thing, I'm like the knight in shining armor and stuff. But like at
mhm,
the end of the day, like I didn't feel stable. I felt chaos all the time. And it was like I couldn't relax, I couldn't find peace. And since I've been alone and I haven't been in a relationship, like there's all these things going around me and I know these people who are still like arguing and like these people who have drama and all this stuff. I have none of that because I literally like anybody who is like not aligned with the values I have or the lifestyle I have or like even just like respect for other people or like people who create drama or talk bad about people, like I just don't like that. And so like I've really eliminated that and like so I have created this world where it's
yeah,
like it's my space, it's me and my kids. I have a beautiful home and it can be any size home. You can make it whatever you want, you know. I'm financially stable on my own. Like it is peaceful. And I don't think I've ever felt that my whole life.
yeah.
It's my first time. I'm in my 40s that I feel like I am so stable and just peaceful, you know?
Hmm. Well,
And
you
it's good
finally
because
have.
then it's selective who you'll bring in because once you make that stability for yourself and
Mhm.
like have that peacefulness, like you're not going to let just anybody come in and disrupt that. And the second
No.
somebody starts to disrupt it, you don't let it happen one time, two times, three times, four times. The first time it's like, whoa, 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 no. I feel something nice in here and you're not coming in and wrecking that, you know?
Yeah. Well, that's why I asked Amber this question like a week ago or a week and a half ago. I forget why, but I think it was a story I heard from like a friend or something, but I was like, why do people who are like not even divorced, but like just
Mhm.
barely separated, like why do they always just immediately jump into dating? Like, I feel like if I was ever in that scenario, like what I would do is like, you need to build your own world. You need your foundation. You need you. And until you don't have that when you're going through a divorce, like you don't have that until like for a while.
Mhm.
And I've never experienced it personally, so I can only say from my opinion. And but I asked Amber, I was like, why do people who are like going through a divorce, like why did they're always fucking dating. Like
Mhm.
they're always immediately rushing into dating. Oh, I remember why, because I was thinking about a specific couple that we yes.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, and they're both dating. And I was like,
Mhm.
why? Like they're not even divorced. Like why are they so quickly rushing into like relationships or other people? And I agree with what you said, which you can share.
Well, I did tell Sam, like, respectfully, I know you have your opinion, but until you go through it, you don't really know. And
Yeah.
like for me, I think my personal experience, I think so many people who are going through a divorce do jump into dating right away or jump into a serious relationship right away. And I know that's something I did in retrospect. I should have taken more time, and I think that would have been a lot healthier for me.
Yeah.
But I think it's because when you are in a marriage and you get to the point where you are just like, I am getting divorced, it has been broken down for a long time. I mean,
Mhm.
you don't just wake up one day in a happy marriage and say, this isn't for me anymore. Like, I was, I don't know, 40. So, can you imagine how sad I must have been at 40 to with three kids to decide I would rather do life on my own and start all the way over again than stay married to partner of 20 years. That's a really sad thing. Like there has to be a real breakdown. And so like I think people who decide to get divorced have for the most part been very lonely for a long time and they haven't been having their needs met and they haven't felt good or seen or appreciated. So you're getting divorced and then you meet someone and they give you all those things, all that attention, all that affection. You're so great, you're so beautiful. All the things that have been missing from your marriage for 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. You know what I mean? People really stick in it. So I think it just feels so good to
Yeah.
have someone look at you like a person and love
Yeah.
you that you just automatically start dating. And it's not the healthiest thing, but I don't
Yeah.
think you can really judge it because until you've been in that position, like it's hard.
Yeah. Well, like I said to you, like I have been in that position. It wasn't a divorce, it was a breakup, but like where you do feel so starved for that like attention and validation and like human touch and the love, like, and for someone to not be mean to you. Like
Mhm.
it, yeah, like someone being like, oh, I am desirable, like blah, blah, blah. I have experienced that to where like you finally break up and blah, and whatever. My opinion is that like the what you're craving is actually your relationship with yourself. It is
Mhm.
like because like you said, it's you're not you're wanting you're feeling lonely and like you're looking but I forget the exact words you use, but it basically is like the world that you had with that person, it doesn't feel good and you've tried to fix it and it's not being fixed because you don't have your own world. It's a collective one.
Yeah.
So it's like trying to create a world with someone else immediately rather than creating your world and deciding like these are my dreams. This is my like world. This is how I treat myself. This is how others treat me. This is how I speak. This is like the energy, this is the direction, this is the like making those decisions and building that foundation. I feel like that's really what is being craved, I
It
think.
is. It is. And that is the hard thing to do. The hard thing to do is to go through a divorce and sit with that and
Mhm.
sit by yourself and be alone. And there's so much research that shows that like a lot of people do after a divorce get into a very the first person that they connect with becomes a very serious relationship, right? Those feelings
Yeah.
feel so strong and they almost say that the breakup from that relationship because those relationships barely work out,
Yeah.
statistically if you look at it they don't work out, but that breakup from the relationship you had first after divorce they say it's usually so intense and those feelings are so magnified more than the feelings you had about the divorce. And it's because it's this like rush of like, oh, they love me, oh, they're giving me affection. Um,
Yeah.
and what people need to do is sit down and like feel good about themselves and rebuild a world. And most people don't. And I'll
Yeah.
say, like, I've been out of that like first relationship after divorce for quite a while now.
Mhm.
And it's the first time that I have sat alone and all of those feelings. And I feel like I experienced a lot of those feelings from my divorce for the first time after the breakup from my relationship after the divorce because it was so
Mhm.
easy to like mask those feelings by getting into another relationship and trying to feel good about that, right? And it's
Yeah.
almost like I had this one world, you feel like you're like, I don't know, after divorce, you feel like you ruined something or like something didn't work out. So like, okay, like I'll create it again with this other person. It's gonna be great. And then like then I'll feel good and then I'll feel like something worked out and but it never
Yeah.
does. But it just shows you the importance of like making that foundation for yourself and making a
Yeah.
magical world for yourself. Because I'll tell you right now, I am so happy for the first time in a long time. I'm happier now than I was when I was in that relationship going
Hmm.
through the divorce? So
I think what I think when you rush to create a world, when women have created a world for themselves that is centered around their partner and not themselves, it's not their
Mhm.
own. But it's like, and again, you were so young getting married, and like also women just were like trained to do this because we are the second sex, like in
Mhm.
air quotes. Like this whole world we are given and we inherited was built for us to be secondary. So
Mhm.
when you create that marriage world, like yes, the marriage world can exist, but yours has to be built around you as the center too. Like you need to have your own
Mhm.
as well. And but when you have the one that's like just you and your person and it's like not meeting your needs, it's not working, and then you immediately try to build one with a new one, it's again, I feel like it's a smaller like what's that word? Like fractal or something. It's like a mirror image of the bigger world at large where you again are secondary.
Oh,
Yeah.
1,000%. I will say I lost myself as an individual, as a person in my marriage. I just became mom and wife, barely hung out with my friends, barely did anything for me. Like after I
Yeah.
had cancer, I started going to Pilates once a week, and my ex-husband would give me a hard time and he'd be like, "You're going to Pilates again?" And then he would say things to my kids, and my kids would be like, "Oh, mom's going to Pilates again?" 1 hour a whole week. It's the only thing I did for myself. And it was to get healthy because I had cancer and it was important to me to work out and stay active. But like, so that's the point to where I had lost myself, right? So that
Yeah.
like 1 hour of something I wanted to do away from the family and my spouse was a huge deal.
Yeah.
Fast forward, I get out of this because I want to be happy. I don't have a partner who respects me or puts me first or even makes me feel loved, if I'm being honest. And then I
Mm.
get into this relationship where I'm like, like so loved and like almost love bombed, I'm gonna say. And but I seriously, 6 months in, I found myself doing the same thing.
Thing.
Putting my boundaries aside for something that he wanted, changing things in my life that made him happy, rearranging my schedule for things that he wanted, like, and it was like, and I found myself in a relationship where like I went in saying like I want a relationship where I'm going to be equal because I didn't have that in my marriage. And that person was like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah, that's what I want too. I love that. I love that you're strong. I love that." And then all of a sudden I'm looking around and it's like he's like, "I want a submissive partner." And I'm like, "What?" And like, but it happens. And then
Yeah.
here I am again, same story, different person, different situation, but literally the same story. And then so for the first time now, alone, I am creating my own world and it feels beautiful. And like even something women can do is like I went to the grocery store by myself the other day and there was this old woman in the baking aisle with me. And my kids were gonna have off of school and I was looking for yeast and flour bread because I love to make homemade bread with my kids. And it's something they'll do with me because they can get all sticky and gross and they like it. And this lady was picking out Crisco. And she stopped me to tell me that she likes to put Crisco in her homemade cookies. And I was like, oh, I make homemade cookies, with my kids. And she started telling me all about her recipe and how she's been doing it for so long. And she was by herself and she's going on and on and on. And like a part of me was like, oh, lady, I gotta go, I gotta go, I gotta go. Like I got stuff to do. But then I stopped and I just listened to her and I talked to her. And then another woman in the aisle came by and she stopped and she was like, oh, you're looking for the yeast? And she told me where the yeast was, and I started talking to her. And now the three of us women that are all different ages, all
Mhm.
just rushing through the grocery store, are sitting there talking about home recipes that were passed down and things we like to do, and like we're laughing and like it's just like if you slow down a little bit, you can really romanticize your life in so many different ways. And
Hmm.
it's just beautiful.
Yeah. Well, it's not exactly, and like not like it's your life, not your to-do list life.
Yes, and in my head, I was like, I gotta get this, I gotta get this, I gotta get this, and I gotta go home and I gotta make lunch and I gotta do this, and it's raining, and this old lady slowed me down.
Yeah.
And then me and this old lady and then this other lady start talking, and I just had a great time. I was like, all right, bye, girls. Like 10 minutes
Yeah.
later, we're all laughing, we're all having a good time. I was like, should I put Crisco in my cookies?
Yeah. Obviously, like being a mom, like if you have to actually go because you need to pick up the kid, like I'm not talking about that. I
Yeah, yeah,
just,
yeah. Yeah, when
yeah,
you have to be
you know
somewhere, you
what
have
I
to
mean.
be somewhere. But like it to me,
Yeah.
it was just going through my day with the things I had to do. And it would
Yeah.
have just been like a hectic day of being domestic. But instead I slowed down for 10 minutes and like I don't know. I smiled the rest of the time I was grocery shopping. I had a great time with those ladies in aisle four, you know?
Yes. Yeah. So I love that you brought that up because it's like you don't become secondary to the to-do list.
Hmm.
You aren't secondary
Yes.
to anything in your life.
Hmm.
And allowing yourself to be the center and to have your own world the way you design it is a powerful practice and something to like you can rebuild it whenever you want.
Yes.
So if you're like, crap, I have been secondary to my
Right.
to-do list for like years now, it's like, okay, great. This is an opportunity. And like, how do you want it to be now? And the last thing about creating your own world is how do you want your story to end?
Mhm.
Which I think we can choose how our life stories end. And I think it's something we think we can't, but I think we can. And I love to think about it like I consult with my 170-year-old self, and I love talking to her. And I joke that I'm going to live to that old, but like I consult with her, and she's at the end, and she's like telling me advice and like giving me perspective and like deciding on like, no, this is how my story goes. And no one gets to tell me that besides me.
Hmm.
So, yeah, like just if you can rewrite it anytime you want. You're under no one is controlling you. No one can make you second to anything without your permission because you let it enter your walls and you can push it back out.
Yes. And I think like for people who have always had their identity like consumed in somebody else, you
Mm.
know, um, like it can be hard and scary to do that on your own, but it really is worth it. And you can do it little by little. Like I remember like I fought to get the house in the divorce and I had to do a lot of stuff and I made a lot of sacrifices to make that happen. And it's been very hard for me. And and then I remember like finding all the ways to do it and pay my ex, you know, his portion and all this stuff. And then I remember sitting down and looking around and being like, nothing in this house is me. Like nothing. He picked every pink color and vetoed me. He picked every piece of furniture and vetoed me. Like maybe a couple things I got to pick out. But like that was like a really hard thing to accept and acknowledge. And I think like even things like that, and you would think like, oh, the woman gets to decorate the house and stuff like that, you know, and like that's such a like sexist thing to think, but people would think it, you know.
Yeah.
But it's not always the case. Like there was so much was controlled in my life that like even things in my house in the paint color I got vetoed on. And so like for me, like not even spending a ton of money, but just changing things little by little. Like in my bedroom, I picked out pieces of art. And they weren't that expensive, but I put them up. And they were actually pieces that I thought my ex-husband would probably hate. And I was like, I like them. And I put them up, you know? And like I got
Yeah.
myself like a funky little cute chair that looked like an old lady would pick it out. And I have like a pink throw blanket on my sectional that he picked out now. But now there's a pink blanket. And like, so it's so easy to just like tweak
Cute.
little things, no matter
Yeah.
how big or small your space is, and just make it feel like yours.
Yeah. Or even like reclaiming, like, let's say you don't have an ex-husband, like reclaiming it from the like culture. Um,
Yes.
Ben and I were thrifting, and there was this really cute, like a really cheesy, almost kind of live, laugh, love script. It said like flower farm, tulips and roses or something, tulips and peonies. And
Mm.
it had a little farm truck and it had like this little print of flowers. And it was so cute and it was very cheesy. And I was like, I fucking love this. And I actually want to put it in our backyard.
Yeah.
And it was so corny and like not aesthetic,
Hmm.
but I was like, I love this cheesy ass sign, and like I want a flower farm sign in our backyard, and I want to grow more flowers and because we just planted like rose bushes and we're gonna plant some more stuff, and it's a very small yard, but I was like, that is so cute. And one of my dreams is to have an edible flower farm in the future. And so I'm like, I'm manifesting that. And I'm going to buy this cheesy ass sign for $6 and we're going to put it in the
Yeah.
backyard. So yeah, we got it. And it's like like something that sparks joy for you isn't
Hmm.
second to what is like trending or what's considered cool or acceptable. And especially when it comes to your appearance or your body, like as women, the pressure is so crazy to conform to. And it's like, do whatever you like. Like I literally just got two
Mhm.
little cosmetic things, I guess you could
Yeah.
say, done today, but like it was to make my life easier and something that I knew I would enjoy for myself. And but like we're told how to look and then we're billed for it. We pay the bill
Mhm.
to match what we're told how we're supposed to look. So it's like that gets to be second over what you want in your world. So just really allowing yourself to play and connect with your inner child, your inner teenager. And that was another thing I realized, like decorating the home, like obviously I'm trying to be mindful of like what Ben, my fiance, like what his style is, what he likes, but I wasn't really letting myself be like I'm really excited about this or like this would be
Mhm.
fun. This would make me smile every day seeing it. And also he's loving all the changes too. We like repainted the room. We're like moving the furniture and he's like, "Oh my God, this is so much better. I love it." And so it's like letting like not making yourself second to like a silent expectation of trying to compromise because a good relationship is compromise because someone fucking said that. But it's like, just let yourself actually follow what is lighting you up and what is inspiring you rather than like trends or inspiration or Pinterest or like influencers or, yeah, like
Yeah.
just, yeah,
That's
letting
what I
you.
would challenge women to do because I feel like I don't know, when I started having free time to myself after my breakup and I started like looking around my house and thinking about what I like it's sad to say, but I was like, I don't even know.
Yeah.
Like I would meet people and they'd be like, "What do you like to do in your free time? What are your hobbies?" I'm like, "I don't know," because it had been so long since anyone had asked me what I wanted to do or what I liked or I even thought about what I wanted to do. And like that can be hard, I think, for women, especially when your identity gets wrapped up in your relationship or in your family and stuff. So I think even just like taking time to really think about like, what do I want in my house? Do I want that sign with the flowers and you know what I mean? Like do
Mhm.
I want that? Like, what do I like to do when I'm by myself? And I'm not thinking about anybody else? And it's hard, but I think if women like challenge themselves and really take time to figure that out, that
Yeah.
like they can really create a beautiful life.
Yeah, I love that. I
Yeah.
did that 2 days ago. We went to this like apothecary slash tea shop and it's called Apothec in Richmond and then like Carytown Tea is like attached to it and it's kind of one. And it's so cute and like witchy in there and beautiful and you just feel like you're in this magical space. And I was like, I want to dress like a fairy. Like I want to go there dressed like a fairy. And so I was wearing this like lace this long like lace kind it wasn't a dress it was like it I got it from Target it like buttons like kind of like a shirt but then it's really long it was from the sleep section but it was like this kind of yeah it was just this long lace thing and then I put this like pink and purple dress that I thrifted that was shorter so it was like the lace was coming out under the dress and then coming out a little bit on top of the top and it was so cute. And then I was wearing these vintage, I'm so tempted to go grab them right now, but these vintage Marc Jacob heels that are pink, and then they're pink and sparkly, and they have purple stars that are sparkly, really big in the middle.
Yeah,
Like they're like Barbie slash Elle Woods.
that's
Um,
cute. Yeah.
heel. Yeah, so I was wearing those heels and then I had like my bag charms on my bag and I was like I just wanted to dress like a fairy and I got so many compliments like women were just like it did look so pretty, the two dresses layered together. I never would have layered those two things if I wasn't like, I want to dress like a fairy, like if I wasn't letting myself
Yeah.
play more, because I would have been like, let me look on Pinterest, let me look for inspo.
Yeah.
What are the cool girls doing? I want to do what the cool
Yeah.
girls are doing. I was like, no, I want to be a fairy. And then it was like I got so many compliments. So many women were like, that's a beautiful dress. Like, oh my God. Or like the women at the tea shop were like, you look like a fairy. So you nailed um yeah, and it was just so cute and fun. And like I was just in this tea shop, like wearing my two dresses and my sparkly star heels and like drinking cacao out of a beautiful glass. Like that's
But you're being
like,
unapologetically you. And that's what women need to tap into, you know? Like, what does society want me to look like? What do I feel? What are my expectations? What pressure do I put on myself? Like, just like what feels good? What makes
yeah,
you feel pretty? And I feel like that's important and that's hard to do. Like, I like big, like puffy sleeves, like not like shoulder pads, but like the cute puffy ones, like Emily in Paris inspired. And
yeah.
I have like three shirts. And my ex-husband always hated them. And anytime I would wear them, he would always say, like, oh, I hate that shirt, you know? And then my daughter actually would hear him and like she would tell me that she hates them. And like I had a black one on the other day and it's like a little puffy and it like buttons up and has like a little, like see-through part. And I was wearing
Cute.
it and she was like, oh my gosh, like that shirt's so ugly. And I was like, well, it's a good thing you're not wearing it because I love it.
Oh my God. Yeah, it's like princess puff sleeves, like
Yes, but it's
so
like I've
feminine.
been told from so many people they don't like them, but I'm like, I like them and I think
Yeah.
they're cute and like I'm not wearing it for you, you know?
Yeah.
I'm wearing it because I like it. And I think like
Yeah.
women need to embrace that more.
Yeah, I think I love that. And I think for a period of time, I definitely was kind of convincing myself like to be taken seriously as a startup founder that like I needed to look a certain way.
Mhm.
And even if I wasn't going to go the route of like getting funding, I was like, oh, if I'm going to be networking or if I'm going to be in I needed to like look the part and like be
Yeah.
taken seriously. I'm like, what? Fuck all of that. I'm like I hate that. And so yeah, now I'm kind of deconstructing. I mean, I did buy a lot of like beautiful things in that process of trying to achieve this like perfect, respectable founder style. But it's
Yeah.
like, what the no one is thinking about me like that. No one's
Yeah.
thinking about anyone like that, really.
Mhm.
So it's like, just do what lights you up and makes you feel radiant and makes you be like, I'm a fucking fairy drinking my hot chocolate cacao and like
Yeah.
enjoying my day. And that is so impactful. That energy is so impactful. And so I'm
Yes.
like, oh my God, I can't believe I ever let those external pressures into my world and like no more.
Well, that's the thing. When you're being authentic to yourself and you're doing things that make you happy, it
Mhm.
does shine out. And then that attracts other people. And then people are talking to you, and then that makes them feel good. It's like the power of just like smiling and being happy to other people, it's
Mhm.
really magnetic. And like, like sometimes when like I drive, like I'll just look at people and like if they look really serious or upset, like I'll like catch their eye and just like, smile. And then they always smile back. And then it's like they're probably driving smiling and then maybe they smile at somebody else. Like it's contagious. It is.
Yeah,
It is.
so cute. Also, I want to say, I forgot to say this earlier, but shout out to Stephanie who did my eyebrows and lash lift. She said she was gonna check out the podcast.
Oh, I love that.
I said
Well,
we have
next time I
six
come visit
views.
you in Richmond, I'll have her do mine.
Yeah, I
I
was like,
love
we have
that.
6 views on our most recent video. She's like, well, I'll be number 7.
Ooh. No,
So
girl, we're
cute.
up higher than
So, hi,
that.
Stephanie, if you watched or if you're still watching.
Well, I love it, and she did a great job. It looks good. Looks
Thank
very
you.
good.
I love it.
So,
Okay,
all right.
great. So,
So, my
mhm,
tips for women would be to, yes, just try, even for like a period of 3 weeks, just try to center yourself and just see like what makes me happy. What do I like to do? What little things can I change in the environment where I live? Does not have to be a lot of money. Like, what things can I do to like make myself feel like I'm more present or like my space reflects me? And it can be something free, like just turning on the music you like in the background while you vacuum or while you cook or while you do the dishes. Like little things like that that I did at first made such a big difference.
I was gonna say, like, if you're a mom, like, let's say someone's a mom who, like, literally has no time, like, even if you're just driving your kids somewhere, like, instead of putting on music they like, put on something you like and, like, sing or dance to it while like, just, like, allow that time to be something fun for you.
Yeah.
Even, yeah, because I think I forget who it was I was in the car with. I think maybe you. I was like, what are your CDs? And you're like, we just always listen to kid music, kid CDs. And
Mhm.
Yeah, I think I then got you some CD. I like gave you some CDs.
Probably, but it's
Well,
important. I'll tell you what, like now, like I come home, I have like a new job that I love and it's amazing. And I come home and I throw my purse down and I kick my heels off and I go in the dining room and I put my Olivia Dean record on and I blare it up and the kids are all doing their own thing, you know what I mean?
yeah.
And I start cooking and 9 times out of 10, they all just kind of gravitate down. And then we're like hanging out in the kitchen and they're like helping me cook and they're telling me about this or that. And like it really like I don't know. It's just easy to fill up your house with love and like things that reflect you, and it'll bring the people around you in.
Yeah. Rather than being feeling like, oh, I have to play a CD of whatever.
Hmm.
Yeah. So just even if it's a really small way, like start to reclaim that territory of the space you occupy and let
Yeah.
yourself shine.
Like get a blanket you like, get a new picture that you like and put it on the wall. Print out new pictures and put them in frames, you know?
Or
And
like make a phone background that says, I'm so hot, and then have it be your phone saver, like screensaver.
I love
Wallpaper,
it.
that's what it's called.
I love it.
Yeah.
So
Wonder
I
how
would love to hear like what our viewers do to make their own castle and feel secure
yeah.
in it and keep it safe and guarded.
Yeah. How do you decorate your own world? What have you allowed in the past that you no longer are letting in? And what stories are you letting go of? Beliefs, behaviors? Yeah, we would love to hear it. The changes you've seen, if you felt inspired or had any realizations of like, oh my God, I've been letting this into my world and I actually don't have to. Um,
Mhm.
we want to hear it. So you
Yeah,
can
and if you have any
email
like
us.
little magical little things, just like making friends at the grocery store, like little things that just make your day bright.
Yeah, tell us in the comments. Make
Yes.
sure you subscribe. Follow us on Spotify. Give us a 5-star review. You can email us down below. Our information is there. You can follow me on Instagram. Message me anytime, DM me. I'd love to hear your thoughts or be introduced to you. We'll also link the link to my dating course below so you can release negative dating habits, beliefs if you want to figure out how to attract an amazing relationship that you can brag about, like I do mine constantly, then everything you need to know to change the world in which you operate and attract love, if that story has always been a negative one, that's what we do in that course. And it's highly effective. So, would love to have you in that. If you have any questions, you can just reach out to us. Thank you for watching and listening, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.